Hey guys, this is Solomon Alice giving my latest review on Boruto The Next Generation, Episode 2, The Academy. We get to see Boruto at his first day after being suspended for at least 2 weeks after that whole goddamn plane and the whole goddamn train accident. Even though it wasn't his fault, it was, Denki, he was the one. We get to see all kinds of characters, we get to see kinds of people, like, for example, we get to see Meadow Lee, who's the son of Rock Lee, Inojin, who's the son of Ino and Sai, we get to see Shikadai, we get to see that Boruto, he tries to do his best to try to be himself, even though that is not a good thing, Boruto, it's his first day in the Ninja Academy. Remember, Boruto's a lot like his father. He causes trouble. He gets kind of shenanigans. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. Seeing Boruto, the way he is, he's definitely a lot like his father was. At that young age. Causing trouble. Causing mischief. However, this time Boruto has a reason. Boruto, and like Naruto, had a reason. How Boruto, wants to see his father, so he thinks to get attention. Kind of like how his father did that, because people were ignoring him because he was the son of the Hokage, having the nine tails inside of him. It's crazy. You gotta sympathize with him. Anyway, he still has his friends. He has Denki, the new kid, and Shigadai. They're still looking out for him. We get to see, how characters react all individually. Salada Chocho can't believe they think they're better than him because, the fact that he's causing trouble with all that stuff, everything that's happening. This is Naruto's first day, and already he has the impression of a kid who causes trouble, remember, if it was anyone else who caused that train accident, they would have gotten arrested or worse, Basically saying that he's using his father's influence, the father being the fourth Hokage, to keep him out of trouble, but we all know that's not true, He does things for himself, So that's what he's doing. For himself, That's what he's doing. He's the person he is. He's doing this for himself, even though he has his friends like Shikadai and Denki, he wants to be a great ninja, but he doesn't want to be like his father, but he wants to do his best, However, his best, may not be, maybe, problematic. We get to see him, he tries his best, even though the other kids think he's a troublemaker, especially Iojin, he's still willing to have fun, try to be a nice guy, overall, even though kids are gonna ignore him, but he doesn't care what people think, Later, we get to see him interact with some of the other kids, like, for example, we find out that he's not the second. He's just only the second best kid in class. Like second, and the first being some kid named Iwabe. Apparently he failed the class. Apparently he failed to graduate twice. But he's the best good in school. Basically, he's like a senior. However, he's what you call unfriendly and a bit of a jerk. That power will lead to the way and all that stuff. Say that he doesn't want to be friends with him because he's the son of the Hokage. It's obviously this kid, Iwabe, he wanted, more life. He just had a very crappy life, So he's taking his frustrations out of other people, so things are not going his way. Basically typical bully behavior, Naruto doesn't care about what he thinks of him, but when he starts to mess with Genki and all that stuff, that's when Naruto steps in to protect his friend. Eventually, the two ended up having a fight. They go to the ninja training course. It's pretty intense when you think about it, huh? For Boruto, like Boruto wants to protect people. He's good. He may be the strongest ninja in the world, but he wants to, use his power he has to protect. Even though he can be a bit misguided at sometimes. Seeing him, the way he acts, he wants to protect his friends and what's important to him. Especially what he becomes in the future. We all know what happens in the future, And remember, this story takes place between, and what happens between the last Naruto movie and other stuff in the manga, And I still haven't read the manga, so no spoiling ahead, we get to see that everybody in class see him fight, overall, He at first, Yaiba, he's more than a match for Boruto. He's been a part of the academy for at least, what you call 2 years now. This is like his third time in class. Remember Naruto failed the graduate, 3 times because he couldn't handle the shadow clone technique. But it's like he's a lot like Naruto wants to. He wants to be acknowledged for his strength. And he's a little bit strong. The way he handled Boruto, apparently not just good at taijutsu but ninjutsu. He even knows to use other jutsu as well. More than that. But when Boruto starts to get the upper hand a little bit, especially when he starts to use his shadow clones, that's what Naruto does. He uses shadow clone jutsu, and which is like his ace. Other than that, to Rasengan to like enhance his other physical strength. Because he has so much chakra. Boruto doesn't have as much as Naruto because he's not Jinchuriki or something like that. But he's what you call being a son of the Hokage. Naruto's a Maki. And the Hyuga clan, and heir, Hinata Hyuga. He has more than enough strength in his blood. He comes from strong lineage, which is pretty understandable. We get to see that everybody is interested. We even get to see that person who's called the class rep. She wears that pink schoolgirl sailor uniform. It's kind of like purplish. She's what you call a bit embarrassed. Especially when they talk about how Boruto, he's nothing like his father. Being a Hokage. Hokage, he's popular. He's a war hero. And everybody idolizes him. While Boruto, just causes trouble. We get to see how these two, feel about each other. How the way they act. And one of these I gotta note is that Yaiba, when Naruto calls him out how the reason why things aren't going so well, why he's always so mad, is because he was a terrible student, and then he loses it, uses his earth style and his staff. The one who saves it, the one who gets involved and interferes in the fight, is Inojin. The kid I said earlier who was Ino and Sai's son. Sai and Ino's child. Even though he interfered, he wanted to make sure when they fought, it was going to be a fair fight. So no using what you call weapons or going all out, like no trying to kill each other. And the fact that he loses it, was about to use Earth Star combined with his staff. He lost it. Now, even though Boruto technically had the other hand, in the fight, even got some over on him, even though he was beating Boruto for most of the match. Once they confronted each other and talked about their feeling and got into their feelings, admit what they truly want, he realizes that Boruto is a little bit like him, like they understand, they're a little bit of the same, a little bit, Sorry, they won't want something out of life. They won't want to be strong a little bit, and they both want to be something that's different, But for Yaiba, he wants to be strong like the Hokage, while Boruto, he wants to be strong, but he doesn't want to be like his father, Be Hokage, be building all the time, and having that time for his kids, That's why Boruto acts out, because he doesn't see his father a lot. But everything's all settled, though. We get to see more from this. We get to see that their homeroom teacher is Shino. If you guys read the manga, Shino is the homeroom teacher. We get to see the Anko. How Anko is like really, really fat. Like did she eat too many dumplings or what? Anko is really fat. In this situation, it's like Shino, he's like Iruka Sensei now. Even though the one who's going to be watching out for him later is Konohamaru, Iruka, his homeroom teacher, who's taking the place of Iruka, is Shino in this situation, which is pretty intense. Anyway, this was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. If you guys are like me and like the overall story, give it a like, because I like this story too. Alright, sorry for postponing it. Just I'm on vacation right now. I'm in a different location than I usually work, so I can't, do my video on schedule. I promise I'll give out all the feedback and all the videos that be released as soon as possible. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the subscribe. Thank you. This is 11 hours game on Boruto. The next generation, episode 2, The Academy. See you guys next time. I'm out. Bye.